So welcome to an Irish Beer Report special where we are at Alltech, enjoying many beers.
Many beers.
And meeting many people. We've got Liam and Colin with us from Island Craft Beers. Welcome to your own show, for all intents and purposes. And we've also got
Cormack.
Sorry, your thing turned around.
Oh yeah. No. Cormack from Honest Brew. So.
With us as well to kind of close the circle in terms of the beers that Island Craft Beers are bringing into the UK and how people can get hold of them. So guys, welcome to the podcast.
Cheers, Steve.
Let's just start off. Tell us a little bit about what's the concept behind Island Craft Beers.
Yeah, so the concept for Island Craft Beers is we are a brokerage or a gateway to export for Irish microbreweries. So we set up about 2 years ago, and in that period we've imported beers to mainland UK and into several other European countries. We're looking to keep spreading the word and spreading our geographical reach into the likes of the US or other countries we're working on. So yeah, generally it's we have a large portfolio of sort of the curated to the best Irish craft breweries that we've ranked on certain criteria that fit the export markets that we're working in. So I suppose a lot of it comes down to the tasting and the great beers and getting to know the breweries and working with our customers to find out what beers they want to see coming over. So yeah, like a lot of the business we're doing is in the UK market. Mm-hmm. We have 2 sales guys in London, Shane and Donal, and Shane's one of the owners as well, and myself and Colin are based in Ireland, Colin in Dublin and I'm in Belfast. And yeah, so we kind of work every day sourcing beers and getting them to clients and working on other markets we can grow into.
And you say you've got a criteria which you kind of score against.
Yeah.
Are you able to share a little bit of what it is that you're looking for?
Yeah, it's definitely something that we want to solidify a bit more. Maybe even at some stage have it published. I suppose that starting out, I suppose we approached breweries that kind of we liked and we liked their beers. But you do find certain. I suppose it's moving outside of the UK. There's a demand in the UK for sort of the best beers, and margin wasn't really the biggest concern. It's sort of you've got kind of euro to pounds is the biggest sort of thing, and that gap has closed somewhat. So it's made it harder for us to be sort of well, we have to try and be competitive, I suppose, is the word, and. But you can get sort of the best beers, the barrel-aged stuff, the sours, the kind of higher ticket items. But as we look for other markets across the globe, and you're looking at transport costs and whatnot, it's kind of the criteria has to shift a little more on sort of price basis. So you're looking for good quality beer, but potentially hit certain price points. So the barrel-aged stout or the sort of the high ABV IPAs aren't going to make it to certain markets because just the price or where they're going, the consumer on the other end. So I suppose our scoring criteria is it highlights to us what beer suit which customer we're trying to get it to. So the customers rely on us for the information about the breweries, and the breweries are relying on us to give them the information about the customer. And I suppose we have to create the market to sell the beer into as well. But so that's kind of what it is. There's quality is certainly the top of the criteria for us. We like the beers and we know they're good quality. And then as you move down, there's other factors such as the capacity of the brewery. We would be able to see what each brewery is doing in the past sort of 2-3 years, their hectoliter production per annum, and then what's their projected production. So you look at what breweries are investing in their brew kit and what tanks they have in the brewery, and kind of have all that information together. So if you're plugging into a Brazilian supermarket who wants 5 containers a month, can you hit that volume and can you hit that price point? So that's kind of where the scoring and the criteria comes into it.
I was going to ask about that, but is there 2 things you said that were quite interesting, like creating a market. So is the market there for Irish craft beer, both in the UK and the US, and the output must still be a bit of a problem, because are there enough good quality Irish craft brewers brewing enough beer for you to sell out of the home market?
I would say there definitely is. I mean, probably it's a good time of the year to judge it because with St Patrick's coming up, it's a bit of a, we're near enough. It always comes down to potentially we haven't ordered enough in advance because the market is there and we've kind of judged this is what we're going to order. We've told the breweries, leading up over the past month, 2 months, 3 months, and it's coming up to maybe we could have sold another 5 or 6 pallets of X breweries beer, but either they're brewing to capacity or they just didn't get enough time. So probably what I'm saying is the UK market probably got to handle a lot more Irish beer going into St Patrick's Day, but then
if you could get it down the Holloway Road for Friday the 17th in the afternoon, that'd be really handy for me.
Yeah,
because then I won't have to drink Guinness all afternoon.
There's plenty of venues that have it now.
I think the brand changes as well. The brand of Irish beer changes depending on the country. Like, so I have a few connections to Italy, and in Italy they literally associate beer drinking with like Irish pubs. Like the idea of drinking beer is really, they grow up with, you go to an Irish pub. I know small towns with like 1,000 people and they have like an Irish pub, and you go in there and there's like McKellar and all these things on it. It's a completely different culture. So if you bring out, they actually have like fake Irish beers over there that are brewed in Germany and stuff. They'll say like Irish stout, but it'll be brewed in Germany. So there's huge Irish brands or awareness around.
Irishness is a brand in itself, almost,
yeah,
isn't it?
Yeah.
Especially you don't get English pubs. Like you say, little town Italy, you don't find an English pub.
Yeah.
It will be an Irish pub. You'll find an Irish pub in some of the most outlandish places. There'll be an Irish pub.
Yeah.
And invariably there'll have a lot of time Irish people working in those pubs, won't they? So Irishness is a brand itself.
Yeah.
It's because probably people know what they're getting when they go to an Irish pub. They're getting friendliness.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, you look at America and you think there's loads of Irish pubs, but I can't see the beers that we have ever been sold in them.
The best bar in New York is Irish, isn't it? It's the
Dead Rabbit.
The Dead Rabbit, yeah. That one, like, best cocktail
that would be
bar in the
maybe
world,
a venue that you'd like to get into. But we've been scoping out the US market for over a year now, and I suppose the distribution stuff in the middle kind of makes it tricky. But I suppose that when I'm saying the Irish bars, like say in New York or something, they're the ones that are selling most of the Bud Light, and probably Guinness, I'm sure, does a good trade on it, but it's a big removal from craft beer, I would say. But then in other scenarios, like you're saying about Italy, you're going to get McKellar in an Irish bar.
It's not.
Really,
it doesn't really make sense.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. I don't think you get. I mean, coming back to my thing about the joke about getting it in for St Patrick's Day for me, so I don't have to drink Guinness all day.
Yeah.
I think it's actually incredibly challenging to get Irish craft beers into Irish pubs, because people go into Irish pubs for a certain thing. So invariably they'll all be serving good pub food. They'll always show football matches, rugby matches, that you're going there for your sport, and you're going there for the crack. It won't be you're going in there to taste a range of crafty beers. Yeah. Whereas your Irish craft beers, you made them there to get into a non-Irish place. I think it's actually a bit harder to get into an Irish place.
I think they underestimate their audience. I think the Irish pub is a lot of the time abroad.
Yeah. There is, again, let's say we've sold 60, 70, 80 bars, whatever it is, in the UK. There's only 2 or 3 of them are Irish by association, I suppose. It is really, we're selling into craft bars or to more high-end bars. So it is tricky to find that solution that, or you probably won't find the solution of launching into every Irish bar in the world with, every beer we have. It is just sort of different product and a different market for it. It's sort of its niche product. So, but I don't know.
And we're not selling necessarily the Irish beer towards Irish people who are interested in Irish beer. We're just selling craft beer.
Yeah.
So because it comes from Ireland, it has some slightly different characteristics. Irish malt and some of the styles here are becoming their own sort of their own culture of styles. There's a lot of sours coming out of Ireland at the moment. I'm drinking a sour IPA. There's a hibiscus sour here. There's a lot of sours around.
Yeah,
I think a lot of necessity. That was like the hops weren't there for Irish brewers. Some are very lucky, like 8 Degrees. They've been around for 8-9 years. They have Amarillo and Citra and whatever they kind of want, But some of the younger brewers have to sort of. So there's a lot of sours.
So they have to be a bit more creative with
their
styles and what they're brewing.
I think it's interesting though, because in the last year, because I came over to the All Tech Festival last year, and I've seen in the space of the year the range of styles has changed massively. I mean, if you look around the table at what we're drinking now, we've got an IPA. You're on a sour. You're on a nitro coffee
Irish
stout.
coffee cream stout. Yeah.
I've got strawberry milkshake IPA there.
Yeah, you've got sours. We've got pretty much the whole spectrum here, and it's got to be that rapid kind of development that we've seen in the last year that you guys are now looking out for to bring over to the UK through the guys at Honest Brew to get into, I suppose, what is a already very crowded market.
Yeah.
But it's going to be these beers that stand out in that market that make people want to give them a try.
Yeah, that's it. Like you have to be able to, if you're getting a keg on a line and you're sitting beside the Colonel and Beavertown and those guys, the beer has to stand up in its own right.
It's got to be good.
You can't hide. There's no gimmicks around hide. You can hide behind. It is really that the beer is competing with US beers and UK beers on that sort of same level.
You make it on once, but it doesn't stand up. You make it on the second time.
Yeah, that's it.
I think that's where the curation comes in as well. You've got there's no point thrusting a beer or a brewery into like a really intense market like the UK if the beer's not ready or the brewery's not ready, you just gotta choose the right beers and that are gonna keep the customers happy, but also just fit into that market. Like sometimes we don't always take the full range. Like we kind of pick certain beers. Every beer we do is chosen by the Honest Brew team. Everything is tested and tasted, and it's not about taking a full range from someone. Sometimes it's just about taking one line or two lines, So.
Okay, so what have you got coming up? What do we know that we've got coming up?
What do we have coming up? We have a lot of White Hag stuff coming over. We've got the Irish whiskey, the Irish coffee stout, which is the barrel aged stout with coffee beans, the whiskey
the White
barrels.
Hag and Kinnegar collaboration.
Yeah, it's tasting amazing.
Clyde Picker. Roasted coffee.
I think we'd all agree with that one. So
we enjoyed that last night.
It's one of the kind of the stars, I think, of the show. Really. Kinnegar and White Hag, the sort of one of the leading breweries really in the whole thing. So that's good. And we've got a lot of Metal Man coming over, and they're not at this show, but they've got they've been around for a few years, doing a lot of their own canning, and I think they make some of the best. They make some of the best lagers that we buy in probably. Zvickel beers and a few just great, really clean beers, and then we've got Rascals and 8 Degrees as well. So we get a good mix. And
Boundary as well.
Oh, we've got Boundary as well. Yeah. We always have a good stock of Boundary, and Boundary is just flying out at the moment. So can't recommend the Boundary stuff enough.
So quite a range then, and you've kindly offered our listeners a discount as well, haven't you? On the site. Which I'm now going to put you on the spot and try and make you remember.
It's not using my worthless phone to find that code out.
I was going to say no, it's come back to me now. So it's Save 10 Irish. So that code will be valid on the website, I think, for a 10% discount. So it should tell you at the checkout, but it will give you any Irish beers that are in your basket when you go to checkout. That'll give you a discount.
And we'll put that in the show notes as well, so people can find that. But I'm quite excited about what we've got coming up on the Irish Beer Report. We're looking forward to trying a few more beers from a few more small breweries and giving them a go.
They're all new to us.
Yeah, they are all new to us, and that's the important thing. And it's great that we've got the link through Honest Brew as well, so our listeners can get hold of the beers and sort of drink along with us as well. So I think we need to get back down to drinking some beer. Yeah. So listen, guys, really appreciate you giving up your time and obviously coming away from the festival as well.
Great. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers. Let's launch it.